Is he really? I mean, really? He's not, is he? He's absolutely not. MEN. This is a ridiculous headline. Jose's going head-to-head with the board because we aren't signing a defender that we probably don't actually need anyway. Come on. There's no way. We've spent 145 million this summer. We've done some of the sickest business probably I've ever seen, in all honesty. We've done it with a quickness and an efficiency that other managers would dream of. And he's going to go head-to-head over the board. Now, he might have gone, I really like that defender. And they've gone, yeah, we might not get him. And they might have gone, all right. That's about as much as it's going to be in it. There's no one going to be flipping tables over and kicking chairs, is there? That's absolutely ridiculous sort of assumption. Now, what they're saying is that Jose Mourinho is kicking off with Ed Woodward because he wants Jose Fonte. I didn't see anything special from Fonte on Friday night. He's not blown me away in terms of a signing. Yes, I want an experienced player. Fonte, not that experienced. Only 16 international caps, I think, as well, something along those lines. Yes, he's won the Euros with Portugal, but there was a lot of other players in that Portugal squad that aren't up to much either that have won it. Let's not pretend that Portugal blew everyone away. Didn't they win like exactly about 2 matches in the whole tournament, going for own penalties and shit like that? It's hardly a great side, is it? And Fonte's hardly a great defender. People say, like, oh, you wanted Ashley Williams. Yeah, but I didn't just want Ashley Williams for his experience. I wanted him for his leadership and his playing style and some of the other things that he brings to the game. Stop trying to pigeonhole every single player in the same categories where you can try and rank them, because you can't. There's differences to each player, and what each player brings is different. And what Fonte would bring, I don't think... Yes, we like leadership. For me, he doesn't look like that sort of leader. Oh, and I've got to wear the headphones for a bit as well, because the sound is not working properly on the phone. Everyone's been moaning, so hopefully it's a little bit louder with the headphones, so that's me sorting that out for you. Yeah, not a big update, not a big upgrade on what we've already got for me, so there's no way Jose Mourinho's kicking off over this. What they do say is that United have been told, or they're telling Mourinho, that he needs to get rid of some players before he's able to bring anybody else in. I think that's quite fair. We've not had any big names leave the club over the summer. We've accumulated about £5 million in transfers, and that was mostly McNair and then a little bit for Love to Sunderland. There's about 5.5, 6 million between the two of them. I think 4.5 of that was on McNair. The list of players that has gone is Fletcher gone on a free, Valdez gone on a free, Rathbone gone on a free, Tyler Reid, Nick Powell, Jimmy Dunn all gone on a free or undisclosed, and then Borthwick Jackson's just jibbed off on loan, and Blackett's gone for an undisclosed fee to Reading. So there's quite a few been cleared out, and I've seen people kicking off already saying that this is proof that Mourinho isn't looking after the youth. Do you know what? I disagree. I disagree on multiple levels. Out of all of those players, from Reid to McNair to Rothwell to Powell, even Ashley Fletcher, was any of them going to get first team football this season? Was Blackett? I don't think he was. I think the closest one to doing so was Borthwick Jackson. And there's a reason why he's gone on loan with the intention of coming back. So I think he was the closest one to any of first team action. And for that reason, he's the one that has gone on loan and not gone on a permanent deal. I think this is just clearing the decks. Now, we've cleared the decks with players that, yeah, do you know what, they probably would have put up something in the under-23s. And we looked a little bit disjointed last night in the under-23s because we don't have any wingers, we don't have any centre-forward, and we're playing a lot of midfielders. We're like Arsenal at the moment, where we've got a lot of technically good central midfielders, attacking midfielders, and we're just trying to fucking shoehorn them into winger spots and centre-forward spots, and it doesn't work like that. You need specific players who can do specific jobs, and I don't know why Will Keane wasn't playing. There's talk that he's off on somewhere as well, permanent move. And I think he'll probably go and do well somewhere, in all honesty. I think he will. So there's likely to be more by the end of the week, and obviously before the deadline finishes next week, that are going to go. Undoubtedly. And one of those is likely to be Phil Jones. Phil Jones has been linked with a move to Stoke. The Stoke assistant manager, Mark Bowen, has come out and said that they're interested in him. That pretty much confirms that one's likely to happen, isn't it? He's not been in any of the matchday squad so far for Mourinho. He's not really done it over the last couple of years. It's just injury prone. That's his problem, because I think alongside a real leader of a centre-half, I think you can direct him to do stuff and he does a decent job of it. It's just that we haven't had that leader, and he's just not been able to get over his injuries. Like Johnny Evans, maybe a fresh start. We sell him for... I mean, let's just think of this, right? We got rid of Johnny Evans last summer. I think it was last summer, wasn't it? It wasn't long ago whenever we got rid of him anyway, for $6 million, right? And then Arsenal are being told to pay $25 million for him. You get a lot with United youngsters. We think, he's trash, get rid of him. They go and play a full season somewhere, everyone goes, he's not fucking trash, he's pretty good. And that's what's happened with Johnny Evans, and that's why Arsenal are going in for him. Johnny Evans isn't a bad signing, but we have to take the piss, don't we? Because you are literally going for a United reject for £25 million. If Johnny Evans is worth £25 million, then Paul Pogba especially looks like a bargain, doesn't it? I've just managed to see the Sky Sports coverage of it today. This is the first chance I've had to watch it. And I've watched some of the breakdowns that they did with Giggs and Redknapp and Terry Henry in the studio and stuff like that. And it's exciting, isn't it? I knew watching him, he was doing magical things with the ball. But when you sit down and you break out and you see things broken down into the little segments and what he's doing, and he's fucking brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I'm actually even more excited to see United on Saturday because I can't wait to see what Paul Pogba's going to do. And I can't wait to see what Zlatan Ibrahimovic is going to do. And I can't wait to see what other improvements we're going to see in the side. I think we're still several positions not quite right, several personnel and deployment of personnel not quite right, but it is exciting. See, keeping it on transfers though, Gabriel Barbosa is another player that we've been linked to massively, as well as Hervin Lozano, who's supposedly something was going to happen after the Olympics. Now, I've not seen either of these two play, so I'm not going to talk about their abilities. I'm going to say, if they're wide men, genuine wide men that like to beat a man and put a cross in, then I see a space for that sort of player in our squad. We don't have anyone that can do that in the academy or under 23s. We don't have anybody in the first team that's really that sort of player that gets behind and feeds someone. The wingers that we've got are generally inverted wingers that look to go and set themselves up, really. Mkhitaryan, don't really class him as a winger. Mata, not a winger. So I want an actual flying winger, like a Mahrez, like a Hazard almost. Someone that beats a man and looks to deliver something into the box. We don't have that at the moment. So if either of these two cats are like that, regardless of their ability, I'm sure their ability is of a decent enough level, I would like to see one of them brought in, at least. And finally, we'll leave it on this one because it's probably quite a large talking point, although I'm not going to drone on with it forever, is Portland Timbers gaffer, I can't remember the guy's name, has been talking about Wayne Rooney, I think it's the chairman, not the manager, saying that he would love to see him in the MLS, but this isn't a player that's 34, 35, still got a lot of soccer ahead of him. This article also mentions the fact that he was offered something from China. I was hearing similar myself around January, February, that Rooney might be off to China. There was offers on the table. He's clearly turned them down. Wants to stay at United for a little bit. Probably wants to see the record through, and then maybe we'll see something from him. His abilities, whether you think he's a legend or not, I do think there's a debate to be had there. Whether you think he's done a lot for the club or anything along those lines, whether you agree or disagree with his transfer requests, forget all that. It's irrelevant. What is relevant is what Wayne Rooney offers to the team now, and I'm not sure he is the right player for what we need at the moment. You should not be picking a player on his reputation alone. The problem that we have is, if you drop Wayne Rooney, who's going to pick up the captain's armband? I'm not a fan of giving new signings the captain's armband. I kind of like the way Real Madrid do it, that it goes to the next most senior player. But who's that? I mean, Carrick, yes. Is he going to play every week? No. Who's it then? On appearances, probably Smalling or De Gea. I bet there's probably not much between the two of those. But are they really leaders? Real, genuine leaders? Don't think so. Wayne Rooney offers more than one problem to us at the moment. Not just in what he does on the pitch. Is his footwork and football brain of the level that we need it to be for someone to be in a number 10. I think his positioning's awful for a number 10. He's not the sort of guy that leads attacks. It would be better if he was a number 8, but he's not going to get played as a number 8. Although there might be something between, if Pogba's played as the 8 and he's played as the 10, you might see them seesaw a little bit, covering each other. You might get a decent Rooney out of that. You might get a better Pogba out of the licence to just go wherever he wants. So maybe it's not as bad as we think. Maybe the 4-2-3-1 with Rooney in the 10 position and Pogba in the 8 position actually, in its deployment, is more of a 4-3-3 with Pogba and Rooney covering that midfield spot, one taking the left, one taking the right, and then the front 3 players allowed to do whatever they do. So maybe we're all getting worked up for nothing, and actually in its deployment, Rooney is going to be a bit further back. If that's the case, I haven't really got so much of an issue with it. I do see him ending up in somewhere like China or the MLS. I think the MLS is a bit more likely. I don't see him learning Chinese. And what's mad about the Chinese Super League at the moment is it's clearly got a lot of cash. I couldn't name you a club. I couldn't name you a club. Everyone's like, oh yeah, he's gone China. Like, Pella, oh yeah, he's gone China. He's on like 400 grand a week. Who's he play for? Not a fucking clue. Hulk's over there. Who's he play for? No idea. So that's interesting that they're building up the brand of the Chinese Super League as a league rather than individual clubs. I'm sure that'll change as they start to do stuff on the international scene. But clearly the fan base is there. The demand for soccer, football over there is enormous. So I'm sure with the money that they've got, they can make it a success. We've seen with Manchester City what you can do with a pile of piss and a load of cash, haven't we? So let's not say that the Chinese Super League will be a flash in the pan. People put money into a pile of piss and you end up with a club that's fairly competitive. Can't fill a stadium, but it is competitive on the pitch. Anyway, that will do for today's transfer talk, I think. Just a nice short 11-minute video. And there will be more stuff out tomorrow. I can't remember what I've got on my schedule to do for tomorrow. I think it's a manager game. Probably won't be a manager game. It might be a look into Jose Mourinho's 11 and how it's evolving in the first few games that I've seen. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe. It means a lot to me. I am this fucking close. Like 500 off, I think. Let me have a look. I've got it up here. Probably 500 off it by the time this video goes out. So please subscribe. Let me get over that 20k mark. That was the goal that I had for Christmas. And I'm going to do it in August. That's fucking mint. Where we go now, I don't know. 50k for Christmas? No, it's not happening, is it, in 3.5 months? I don't know. I don't care. I'm over 20k, or I will be, and I'll be happy at that. So please subscribe. Please share the video any way you like. And please get commenting if you've got any comebacks on anything I've said, if you've got anything to support anything I've said. Let's get some discussion going. I love getting some discussion going in the comments, as long as you're not an absolute fuckwit, which we do get a lot of fuckwits in here, don't we? Usually City fans. But they're new to football, aren't they? So who cares? Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in a bit.